drug, and even alcohol substances. And, regarding the current situation that has happened now, the lawsuit that the Navajo Nation is facing, I would think I can understand my colleague delegate, Mark Freeland. I would support him if the operation and the execution of that were done correctly, and with the support of community members via passed resolutions from the chapters, letting the community members know that this is happening, but also understanding that whoever's planning the operation, keep it away at a far distance from homes and other homesteads. So, Shannon, I've spoken to a few groups. I even spoke to a group that's considering hemp production, and they're from the territory near Navajo Mountain. Considering and listening to their plan and how they plan to operate this, I believe in revenue, and yes, to think about the future and how we're going to prepare our children for it. How are we going to start preparing their revenue and getting money back into the Navajo Nation? I think this would be a valuable source to help our nation grow again. Yes, it is. There are a lot of disagreements, and there are a lot of points to consider. And not only that, I've always considered our traditional background, what is accepted, what is allowed. Those kind of things that, I have thought so far in nights and days. Is there something that I would consider? And then not only that, you have different agencies that have different opinions. And then we don't take into light about what they are thinking, our constituents, but rather we feel one pressure, and it is very critical as Anis and Glenigi. And I hope that our constituents can understand, we are trying to make the best decision for our people, for you. And I think that the enforcement should just be tightened, but not necessarily in the way that we're proceeding right now. And if there were a different operation happening right now with the current situation, and if it were away from the community members, and if there were no violence, then yes, that would have been a different scenario. But in this case, it has not been sought out thoroughly and effectively and efficiently, and most of all, safely. So, I'm not too sure if I will be supporting this legislation, as I'm getting texts and calls regarding this, and I have spoken now because my people and my district need to understand. Okay. Thank you, Shiyash. Thank you for that time.
Thank you very much.
Speaker Pro Tem Freeland. I have a point of order.
Hello, Tisha.
Point of order.
Point of order. Recognize your. Go ahead. Identify yourself.
Freeland. Chairman.
Freeland. What is your point of order, sir?
I did call for a cease debate, and there was a second.
Honorable Freeland.
Delegate James.
The reason I didn't recognize your cease debate at the time was you were the last person, and then I called for a roll call, first, second, and just when I said the third one almost, Honorable So wanted to speak, and I realized she had texted me to be placed in the queue. So out of respect for my colleagues, they have a right to voice their concerns. I gave the time to Honorable Charlene So, and she used up her 5 minutes. There's nobody in the queue, but I did receive an email from Honorable Wilson Stewart that there is an amendment, to this legislation. So let me go to Honorable Stewart.
Gushin I. Yes, we do have an amendment. Dana Barbroff does have that. She emailed it out to both myself and Eugenia Charles Newton, Chairwoman. And so, Ms. Barbroff, can you help me in that area right there to make this motion for the amendment to this legislation?
Ms. Bobroff, could you send it to the 24th Nomination Council?
Certainly I will. It is coming right now. Speaker, I sent it out probably about a minute ago. Did you get it?
Yes, Ms. Bobroff, I did receive the amendment. Thank you. That staff is going to read it into the record. Mr. Rico?
Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, members of the 21st Nomination Council, Amendment Number 1. 1 on page 3, line 13, after designee, insert underscore or pursuant to the pilot project created by CJ in 2419 and any extensions, end underscore. 2, renumber or re-letter succeeding paragraphs or sections or exhibits accordingly if necessary, and this amendment shall supersede inconsistent language contained in any other committee amendment which shall be conformed to the intent or language of this amendment. The Office of Legislative Services, with notice to the sponsor of the legislation, is hereby authorized to make necessary grammatical changes. Mr. Speaker Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mr. Rico.
Motion, Delegate James.
Motion by Honorable Vince James, second by is there a second?
Can I second, Chair?
Okay. Honorable Stewart seconds the motion. Are there any questions, comments? Going once, twice, 3 times. Let's go to the board. Roll call vote. Steph?
Honorable Elmer McGay. Honorable Keon McGay Jr.
Keelan votes green.
Honorable Keon McGay Jr. votes green. Honorable Paul McGay. Honorable Nathaniel Brown.
Elmo McGay votes red.
Honorable Elmer McGay votes red. Honorable Eugenia Charles Newton.
Charles Newton votes green.
Honorable Eugenia Charles Newton votes green. Honorable Amber Cardi.
Delegate Amber Cardi votes green. Thank you.
Honorable Amber Cardi votes green. Honorable Herman M. Daniels Jr.
I vote green.
Honorable Herman M. Daniels Jr. votes green. Honorable Mark Freeland.
Green.
Honorable Mark Freeland votes green. Honorable Pernell Halona.
I want to vote green.
Honorable Pernell Halona votes green. Honorable Jamie Hinu.
He votes red.
Honorable Jamie Hinu votes red. Honorable Rich James. Honorable Carl Slater.
Delegate Slater green.
Honorable Carl Slater votes green. Honorable Raymond Smith Jr.
Present.
How do you vote, Mr. Smith? Honorable Raymond Smith Jr.
Green. My phone's going dead.
Honorable Raymond Smith Jr. votes green. Honorable Wilson Stewart Jr.
Green.
Honorable Wilson Stewart votes green. Honorable Otto So. Honorable Charlene So. Honorable Daniel So.
Daniel So votes green.
Honorable Daniel So votes green. Honorable Eugene So.
I'll vote green.
Honorable Eugene So votes green. Honorable Thomas Walker Jr. Honorable Edison Winica.
Green.
Honorable Edison Winica votes green. Honorable Edwin Yazzie.
Green.
Honorable Edwin Yazzie votes green. Honorable Jimmy Yellaire. Honorable Paul Begay. Honorable Paul Begay votes green via text. Honorable Nathaniel Brown. Honorable Vince James. Honorable Vince James votes green via text. Honorable Otto So. Honorable Charlene So. Honorable Thomas Walker Jr. Honorable Jimmy
This
Yellaire.
is Delegate Charlene. So can I get a clarification on what we are voting for?
Honorable Charlene So, we're voting on Amendment 1. Amendment 1 has been emailed to all our colleagues.
I will vote red.
Honorable Charlene So votes red. Honorable Thomas Walker Jr. Honorable Jimmy Yellowhair,
This is
I will
Thomas Walker.
vote
I
red.
vote green.
I'll vote red, yellow hair.
Honorable Thomas
Walker
Walker
votes green.
votes green. Honorable Jimmy Yellowhair votes red. Pro temp speaker with a vote of 16 in favor and 4 opposed. 16-4.
Amendment 1, the vote is 16 in favor, 4 opposed. Pro tem speaker not voting. Amendment 1 passes. Back to the main motion. We don't have anybody in the queue. Are you ready to vote? None tie. Second reading. On once, twice, 3 times. Second reading. Staff?
Mr. Speaker Pro Tem and members of the 24th Nomination Council, you have one amendment. 1, page 3, line 13, after designee insert or pursuant to the pilot project created by CJN-24-19 and any extensions. 2, renumber, read letter succeeding paragraph sections and or exhibits accordingly if necessary. And this amendment shall supersede inconsistent language contained in any other committee amendment which shall be conform to the intent or language of this amendment. The Office of Legislative Services, with notice to sponsor of the legislation, is hereby authorized to make necessary grammatical changes. Mr. Speaker Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mr. Rico. Roll call vote, please.
Honorable Elmer Begay.
I vote red.
Honorable Elmer Begay votes red. Elmer Begay Jr.
Doug Kellen votes green.
Honorable Key Elmer Begay Jr. votes green. Honorable Paul Begay. Honorable Nathaniel Brown. Honorable Nathaniel Brown votes green. Via text. Honorable Eugenia Charles Newton.
Charles Newton votes green.
Honorable Eugenia Charles Newton votes green. Honorable Amber Knazbach.
Delegate Amber Knazbach votes green. Thank you.
Honorable Amber Knazbach votes green. Honorable Herman M. Daniels Jr.
I vote green.
Honorable Herman M. Daniels votes green. Honorable Mark Freeland.
Green.
Honorable Mark Freeland votes green. Honorable Pernell Helona.
Green.
Honorable Pernell Helona votes green. Honorable Jamie Henry.
Henry votes red.
Honorable Jamie Henry votes red. Honorable Vince James.
Delegate James votes green. Thank you.
Honorable Vince James votes red. Honorable Carl Slater.
Delegate Slater red.
Honorable Carl Slater votes red. Honorable Raymond Smith Jr.
Green.
Honorable Raymond Smith Jr. votes green. Honorable Wilson Stewart Jr.
Green.
Honorable Wilson Stewart Jr. votes green. Honorable Otto So. Honorable Charlene So.
Vote red.
Honorable Charlene So votes red. Honorable Daniel So.
Daniel So votes green.
Honorable Daniel So votes green. Honorable Eugene So.
Green.
Honorable Eugene So votes green. Honorable Thomas Walker Jr.
Walker votes green.
Honorable Thomas Walker Jr. votes green. Honorable Edison Unica,
Green.
Honorable Edison Unica votes green. Honorable Edmund Yazzie,
Oh, boy. Green.
Honorable Edmund Yazzie votes green. Honorable Jimmy Yellowhair,
Yellow hair votes red.
Honorable Jimmy Yellowhair votes red. Honorable Paul Begay, Honorable Paul Begay votes green via text. Honorable Otto, Speaker Pro Temp with the vote of 16 in favor and 5 opposed.
Colleagues, we have a vote of 16 in favor, 5 opposed. Pro Tem Speaker not voting, motion carries for legislation 022-20. Thank you. Close of session. Any announcements, honorable colleagues?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Honorable Edmund Yazzie, second by
Second, Delegate James.
Honorable Vince James,
Second, Delegate James.
second by Delegate Vince James. Thank you. Any questions? None? Roll call vote to adjourn?
Honorable Elmer Begay, Honorable Key Elmer Begay Jr.,
You are unmuted.
Vote green.
Delegate Kellen votes green.
Honorable Key Elmer Begay Jr. votes green. Honorable Paul Begay, Honorable Nathaniel Brown, Honorable Eugenia Charles Newton,
Charles Newton votes green.
Honorable Eugenia Charles Newton, Honorable Amber Knusbach Crowdy,
Delegate Amber Catonsville Party votes green. Thank you.
Honorable Amber Knusbach Crowdy votes green. Honorable Herman M. Daniels Jr.,
I vote green.
Honorable Herman M. Daniels votes green. Honorable Mark Freeland,
Green.
Honorable Mark Freeland votes green. Honorable Pernell Halona,
None of us green.
Honorable Pernell votes green. Honorable Jamie Henio,
Henry votes green. Good night.
Honorable Jamie Henio votes green. Honorable Vince James,
Delegate James votes green.
Honorable Vince James votes green. Honorable Carl Slater,
The little Havalim. Delegate Slater, green.
Honorable Carl Slater votes green. Honorable Raymond Smith Jr.,
Green.
Honorable Raymond Smith Jr. votes green. Honorable Wilson Stewart Jr.,
Green.
Honorable Wilson Stewart Jr. votes green. Honorable Otto So, Honorable Charlene So, Honorable Daniel So,
Daniel So votes green.
Honorable Daniel So votes green. Honorable Eugene So,
Green.
Honorable Eugene So votes green. Honorable Thomas Walker Jr.,
Thomas Walker votes green.
Honorable Thomas Walker Jr. Votes green. Honorable Edison Unica,
Green.
Honorable Edison Winika votes green. Honorable Edmund Yazzie.
Green.
Honorable Edmund Yazzie votes green. Honorable Jimmy Yellowhair.
This is a question of privilege. Just want a question. We just vote for a vote red. If I'm going to go back to green, what is the rule, pro temp chair?
You already recognize the next motion. You already recognize the next motion. Yeah.
Vote
Honorable,
red.
Honorable Yellowhair, there is a motion to adjourn already, so we already moved on. Nanta, Honorable Yellowhair. Thank you. Go
All
ahead.
right. Okay.
So
I'll
continue.
vote green. Okay.
Honorable Jimmy Yellowhair votes green. Honorable Elmer Begay. Honorable Paul Begay. Honorable Paul Begay votes green via text. Honorable Nathaniel Brown. Honorable Otto So. Honorable Charlene So. Pro temp speaker with a vote of 18-0.
Green.
Honorable Charlene So votes green. (19-0).
Thank you. It is currently 11:10 p.m. with a vote of 19 in favor, 0 opposed. Pro tem speaker not voting. We're adjourned. Be safe. And thank you, staff, very much. Appreciate it. And Sago.
And still my mouth.
And also tomorrow.
Good job, Kevin. Good job.
10:30? 10:30, council session tomorrow. Thank you. God bless you. Staff, be careful driving home.